Hi, my name is José Netto. Today I'm here with Alisa Logan. She's a professor of Frequencies of Brilliance. A few people in the world who can teach this healing system. And hi, Alisa, how are you?
Hello, Jose. I'm very well, and thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to speak with you.
Thank you very much for joining me today, for answering these questions, and for making yourself available. Thank you very much. And my first question is, how was your life before before getting into frequencies?
Well, actually, my life was quite wonderful. I was working for a corporation in a management position. Um, but the one thing that was missing, I was well employed, I was well paid, I had a wonderful group of people I was working with. I had a great group of friends that I socialized with, and I was living in an amazing city, and I was very, you would think I would be very fulfilled,
Okay,
but I actually had this aching question, why am I here? And here being on the planet.
okay,
So I was searching, I think, for something more than fulfilling my role as a manager and as a uh, person in general. I was looking for something a little deeper. And so a group of my friends, all of them, I had about six friends separately attend a workshop by Christine Day. And back then it was Amine, which is a multidimensional hands-on body work. It's
okay.
a kind of a sister work to the frequencies of brilliance. And I thought there's no coincidence that so many of my friends attended this one body of work. And so I booked myself into a workshop. And it's almost as if I came home. I had a very sense of the familiar, a sense of family, a sense of something very strongly resonated with me with the frequencies of the work, and it changed my life. And in not in a way where you can go into some works and say, "Oh, I did this before and I do this after." But an example would be I took the workshop, and a few days later, I was called into a meeting with one of our more challenging employees, a disciplinary issue, a behavior issue, complaints with customers. Typically, that meeting would have taken a couple of hours to resolve with this employee to come to terms with an agreement to improve their behavior or whatever the case may be. And after that workshop, within 20 minutes, the issue was resolved.
Wow,
And I believe it was because I came from a much different place, much more centered within myself, certainly very connected with my heart.
wow.
And that was transmitted, and I was carrying that change within me. And the employee appreciated and really met that energy. And so it's sort of a subtle transformation that occurs, but everything changes.
Okay, great. And how would you describe the frequency of brilliance work? How would you describe the work? I know it's hard, I really know, but which words would you use to describe it?
Well, it's certainly not a typical work for this planet because it really works um, off the body. And most I feel of the healing energies, especially with Western medicine, is very invasive into the body. And this work works with the frequencies above the body, which enables it to go even on a deeper level into healing the issues within the physical body. And the biggest, I think, difference or the most special piece for me with this work is it connects the person to their own aspect of their light. So it's actually they kind of are tuned in to that light aspect of self and reconnect, remember that self-healing aspect, that possibility, potential. And that's what I really appreciate with the work, because it's very empowering and enabling of a self-healing to take place. So as a practitioner of the work, each time you work on somebody, you are healed in the work. And this work brings tremendous healing, which some people still call miracles, but we're really working off planet, not in that third dimensional illusion and density, but in that fourth, fifth dimensional reality where anything is possible.
And how can you match frequencies of brilliance and diseases? I mean, you'd say we can do frequencies for any disease, and the person will get better. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. How can you explain that? And yes, explain that and make a sense out of it.
Well, it starts with the person claiming their choices, that they've made a series of choices and brought in experiences for them to have in this lifetime. There's no good experiences or bad experiences. It's just meeting what's taking place in the moment. And when there's a disease, if you break the word, it's a dis-ease. It's a level of discomfort or some disconnection that's taken place in the body, where then that density brings in an illness or an injury, a pain. And what the frequencies does is brings the person back into connecting to that area of the body that's basically just saying, come in and feel me. Come in and claim this part of the body that you've disconnected from, and begin that, as I said, that self-healing process where the frequencies can come in and begin to break that away and allow the person to feel what's there. Because often what happens in life, something extreme or traumatic takes place and it's too much to feel. So we either freeze or shut down or just move into a survival mode. And with the frequencies work, there's a space held for you to go back in and to really feel what's holding there in the cells of your body and allow for that healing and that release to take place. So it's I liken it to I look forward to a future date where when you feel an illness or an injury, you don't go to a doctor that says, here, take this medication 3 times a day for 3 weeks and the pain will go away and you just deal with it that way. I look forward to the day when you come to a frequency session and it's like, we're going to move into the body and you're going to breathe and you're going to feel what's there. And if you do that 3 times a day for 3 weeks, the healing can be on a much more, just a depth and a permanence that I think masking it doesn't really allow.
And I believe you have witnessed many healings throughout the frequencies work on different people. Can you tell us a bit more of this experience of the healing, the actual witnessing of healing of the work?
Yes, well, there's many examples, Jose, and there was actually within our courses with practitioners, we often get doctors and we bring in therapists because they find that the frequencies coupled with the work they're doing really benefits. It almost is a synergy to enhance the healing and potential with the client. So rather than speaking of a case by case, there's one doctor that came in to take the trainings, and she was one of the leading research doctors there in Brazil. And she began to do a case study of how the frequencies is benefiting the patients. And I believe now in Brazil, and it's been recognized by the scientific community to bring about a healing that has no other explanation. That from a Western perspective, you can't really explain that healing process. And that's also happened in Belgium, where they've had a doctor come in through one of the courses who was an expert in some blood work and measuring the brain activities. And through his documentation, it's been shown to have incredible effects of healing with people. But again, it's typical with this work because it's not mainstream and it's not kind of well known at this point. It's a bit word, mouth to mouth, and a friend tells a friend. Typically, it takes a person that comes to a position where they really have no other options. Nothing is work for them, and so they'll pretty much just about try anything, and that's okay because you're really in that state of letting go at that point and allowing a miracle to take place.
Okay. I think that's all good.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to try some kind of energetic release?
Yeah, why don't we try that? Because the work is channeled through. I'm not sure if anyone out there is aware of the Pleiadians. They're a star system energy, and they've channeled this work through. The host was Christine Day, and she brought this work through to the planet. And it started out as a level, a stage of training. I think it's 14 days where you can become a practitioner of the work. It's very user friendly and very easy to move into that. And now this work has progressed. I think the most current level is a level 26. Yeah. So what's most amazing is I've moved into level 26 of the work, but I still use level 1. Wow. And if a person comes along and there's a bone, level 2 is bone molding. And so it's incredibly effective to work with the bones. And every level has its own potential for healing with the person. So it's a beautiful work that's constantly evolving, constantly changing, but there's no, replacing one level to the other. It just isn't almost like a flower opening to the sun. It just keeps blooming with each year and each progression of the work. So enough saying about that. Why don't the work is also very much connected to the heart. So why don't I just give you an experience of moving and feeling how the heart connection really plays a significant role in aligning to this work and being able to feel if it's something that resonates with you or not. So we'll start with that. Okay. So we're going to just, okay. So, it's important to just take a moment to place your hands on your physical heart. And the heart is really the whole chest area. And you can just use your both hands and feel the warmth and the pressure of your hands. And we use what's called the conscious breath, which is a breath in and out of the mouth. And just letting go. Just for this one moment of time, just letting go of everything that exists right now in your life, letting that all just fall away, and take a moment for yourself to just be here in your heart, just to feel that connection. It may just be feeling that pressure of your hands on your heart. That's it, just letting go and allowing this connection, you connecting to your heart. And with this work, there's a language that comes through from the Pleiadians, and it speaks directly to the soul. I'm going to bring that language in now in some tones that help to allow some opening to take place if there's any blocks or any issues holding in the heart. They're just ready to release right now. So just take another conscious breath. Ah. Ekashata ekeo ate e nai ea. E atai e nai e. Shantai nai e atai ea. Breathing and letting go. Feeling your connection with your heart. That's it. And I'm going to bring in a tone and just allow the tone to move into your heart in any way that it needs to. That's it. Breathing and letting go, knowing that conscious breath says two things. It says, yes, I'm willing to let go, and yes, I'm willing to open up to my own light. So take one more breath and just feel that connection to your heart. And the heart is a tool that we can use in our life. It allows us to connect to that pure source, pure light aspect of ourselves. And there's a lot of times in life where there's a struggle or confusion, and there's a lack of clarity of what's taking place. And you can just take a moment and connect like this to your heart. And then place maybe that decision or that choice in front of you, and use that conscious breath in your heart. And you'll know immediately if that choice gets stronger and stronger, you know that that's your next step. And if it gets smaller or if it begins to recede or go away, you know that it's not something that's ready or right for you at this time. And that's what this work does. It begins to reconnect you back to your heart, back to that connection, to that light aspect of self, and allows you to move through your world from this place of connection. And it allows you to move away from the illusion and that third dimensional drama. And just in a moment, just in a breath, you can reconnect and anchor back to your truth. So be it.
Que assim seja, so be it.
So that's just a little piece. Yeah, good. So that's just a little piece. You know, really, Jose, it's not a lot of dialogue that tends to draw people to this work. I find it's either a picture or a name of the teacher, or just seeing someone or hearing someone talk about it, and they get a reaction. There's like a resonance or a vibration that starts to take place within a person, and they want to know more. And so it's almost like an awakening that occurs for the person, a remembrance. It's like, oh, this is something I need to know a little bit more about. And so it's not maybe right for everyone, but it's available for everyone.
Okay.
And it's really almost a calling or a linking back into something that's a little bit more than what presents. You know, there's a little bit more going on out there than what's presenting. And this may be your next step to finding out what that is.
Wonderful words. Wow. I think you summarize extremely well the work, one aspect
Good.
of it. Yeah,
Good.
you just said it's not for everyone, maybe, but
No,
it's available for everyone, and
exactly.
there is a calling. Yes.
Yes, and it enhances everything you do. There's many people that come from the other traditions, Reiki, or, and they say it really transforms that work and brings it to another level. So it's really, it marriages to other works beautifully, and it stands alone as well, just as potently. So it's an amazing time on the planet for these alternative methods to be emerging and finding a greater voice and a greater connection to people. And I think more people are waking up and willing to move outside of the box and say, I want to do something differently, and I want to take back the power. I want to take back the control of my own body. So I'm looking forward to, experiencing more and more people with this work, and I think it's an exciting time.
Yes, it is indeed. Okay, I think I feel we had enough. I mean, we
I
had a
do
lot
too.
here, a lot of information. Uh, so I will finish this interview now, but you can add uh, a
No,
message or whatever.
it feels very complete. You're an excellent interviewer, and I actually didn't understand a word that was taking place with the other interviews you did, but I just looked and you have a beautiful energy, and it's really an incredible service you're providing by offering the teachers an opportunity to meet with you and to share this work. I really am grateful, and I really want to acknowledge you for what you're doing, Jose. It's really meaning a tremendous amount. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much for making yourself available, for bringing this energy to this planet, for helping Christian Day. It's a great support for our family, our frequencies family. Thank you very
Yes,
much, Alice.
good. Jose, am I ever going to meet you?
Yes, I hope so. I've been to the transmissions.
Oh, wonderful. So then
Yes.
if you're at the next transmission or we do get a chance to connect, please come up and introduce yourself. And I'd love you to connect again with Christine.
Okay, I will do that. I'll make
Okay.
myself.
Okay, good.
Okay, thank you
Okay.
very, very much.
Muito obrigada and buenas noches.
Okay, good night.
Okay, good night.
Bye bye.